What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel. Today is predicting every PLE main event until WrestleMania 42. Now, I don't know if I showed this. I don't know if I said it. Let me see. I did. Thank goodness. I was like, oh, I don't know if I gave the credit, which I was about to say. I need to give credit where it's due. K the Crusher, like always, coming in clutch. I actually call you K the Clutcher. No, that did not work. I know this is an NBA video. It's okay if it's an NBA video. Any video on Lesser Athletes is fine to give any suggestions about any type of topic. Want to hear your predictions for every WWE PLE main event up to WrestleMania 42. Predict WrestleMania 42 night 1 and 2, SummerSlam night 1 and 2. Should be something you have written down, TBH, but you definitely should make that. I'm writing it down, is what I said. I did have a concept with predicting every John Cena match till the end, but I was going to do that, but I like this idea way better. Because, let's be honest here, every John Cena match is probably going to main event. There's only maybe a couple that aren't. This one's probably going to main event. Now, I have to say before this video starts, I kind of cheated. I gave two possible possibilities for the main event. Now, the reason why I did this is because I have my possibility 1 and possibility 2, because there's a lot of what if scenarios. Now, because of the what if scenarios, I still want to give out what if this would happen, what if this would happen, what I truly think. I still think that I could go for how many PLEs there is. I think I'll get 1 or 2 here and there, but I think there's a lot of chances that it's not true. But ultimately, I think I'll be fine. I think I'll get it. So let's get started. Okay, well, you kind of see already. Let's talk about the first one already. So obviously, Money in the Bank, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. I'll keep it like that. So let me say this. Money in the Bank, I skipped Saturday night's main event. I skipped the one in July because there's no guessing what could happen. I think the only one I kept was the one in December because that's John Cena's last match. So I wanted to talk about it. But Money in the Bank. So I kind of respoiled a little bit, which is fine. I am interested to see what will John Cena's match be at Money in the Bank. Rumors have it. Okay, let me say this. Rumors have it that CM Punk and John Cena is something they have planned later on in life. Not at SummerSlam, later on. So that's really questionable on what that means and what can happen there. But ultimately, they don't think Money in the Bank they're going to have CM Punk, which I don't blame them for saying that because there's been nothing with John Cena. And I think Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker are going to win to CM Punk and Sami Zayn. So I don't think they would do that if CM Punk's going to go against him in Money in the Bank, and I think it would be a bigger setup. So ultimately, I think the main event will be the men's match. So I have some names in here. I know there's some more. I think I actually messed up, and it'll show my person next, but I'm not going to do that just in case. I think it could show them last. But if they have a tag match, if it's John Cena and Travis Scott, like rumors have it, versus someone and somebody else. Rumor has it's Cody and Bad Bunny, which would be crazy. My guess would be that doesn't main event. If it's a tag match like that, shouldn't main event for the men's ladder match. Now, I'm going to be honest, I really do think that we're not going to get CM Punk versus Cena, but ultimately that is my second choice. In case that does happen, I still want to mention it. But rumors have it saying that it's going to be the tag match. So I'm going to say okay, there you go. There's the guy. Men's PLE ladder match. Now I have these here. I think LA Knight should win with Aleister Black and Shinsuke, but that's a big possibility that Aleister Black ultimately wins. I could really see it. Next one on that qualifier. What was the other one? Oh, no, it was Julia, Charlotte, and somebody irrelevant, I think. That's not going to go to the Money in the Bank. That's ultimately taking the pin. I think that's what's that. Oh, Zelina Vega. Not taking the pin, actually. It could be Julia taking the pin from Charlotte Flair. Julia pinning Zelina Vega to set up Money in the U.S. title match later on. Whatever it might be. Ultimately, I think it's the men's Money in the Bank for Money in the Bank. I'm yapping a lot. Already 5 minutes in the video. Let's get faster. Up next is, okay, didn't go. Night of Champions. So let's talk about, I think I said first. Ultimately, let's be honest here. John Cena is probably going to main event this. Last time in Saudi, technically, he's going to main event this. I thought I had somebody else before, so that was weird. I have John Cena and Sami Zayn first. Now, here's why. I think in Saudi, Sami Zayn, good crowd. This is how you get heat on John Cena. You make him actually go against a big babyface here. Maybe this is Roman Reigns, which I'm going to be honest. I don't have John Cena and Roman Reigns going against each other because it's kind of recent. I think there's a lot of cooler matches you could do. But Sami Zayn versus John Cena, I think it's a good shout. I think, and here's my second one. I think there's a better shout that I've been predicting, and I think it makes a lot of sense to do it at Night of Champions like we have before, and it could really make a babyface turn or make a really good babyface, which could set up a SummerSlam match between him and his potential rival in his group. Hopefully you get the hint, Dominic Mysterio. Now, I've been predicting for a while that if you really want to make John Cena the GOAT, if you want to make him Demon Time, you should make him win the IC title from Dominic Mysterio. Now, here's why. If Dominic Mysterio is starting to get fan reaction, kind of turns slightly babyface, what you could do is have Dominic Mysterio go against John Cena and lose the IC title to John Cena. Then maybe SummerSlam, we get a John Cena match 1, John Cena match 2, with ultimately something like that. Or, Saturday night's main event, he goes against the IC title. SummerSlam, he goes for the actual title. Could be something like that, which is actually a pretty good prediction, I just realized. Maybe something like that. But this could be a really good setup to have Dom versus Finn for SummerSlam without a title. I don't know if they would want to do that. Just a prediction. But ultimately, I really like this prediction for Night of Champions, but I think Sami Zayn is going to be it. Now, I wonder how it's going to happen, because Sami Zayn, I think, could win Money in the Bank. Maybe not. He has this weird storyline, so we'll see how he goes to John Cena for Night of Champions, but I like it here. Maybe there's someone else I'm missing, but I really think this could be the pick here, and I feel pretty good on this one. I realize it could be Gunther maybe, but no. Okay, so this is a question mark, because supposedly Evolution 2 is going to happen, an all-women PLE. This is very hard, and I've changed it multiple times, ultimately because John Cena is not here, so I can't say he can main event. First, Io Sky. Now, I think Raw division is pretty good, and it's getting better. Same with SmackDown division. But I ultimately believe that chances are Io Sky would be the main eventer here, because that title with someone who will be attached, Rhea Ripley, should happen. Now, I think there's two different things I've said. I don't know. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. I made all this about 3 days ago and haven't been able to record, so I'm kind of forgetting my second one on here. But I know my first one I said because I thought you could do Io Sky and just Rhea Ripley, but I added one more. I added Roxanne Perez as a wild card. Now, with the recent Raw, I think I might add Liv Morgan as well here, with maybe Roxanne stealing a win, which would be insane, or Io Sky ultimately retaining, which I think Io Sky retaining would be nice. I think to make yourself the main event, you have to have multiple women in the match. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think it could be a one-on-one in Io Sky and Rhea, but I would understand if that's the main event. But ultimately, Io, Rhea, and Roxanne, that's a big main event, and I think that should be the main event. Now, I originally had Julia in here, but of course, her going to SmackDown changes a lot of things. But I have Io, Rhea, Roxanne, and I think I should have added Liv Morgan. I think that's probably what it is. My second one, okay, I kind of remember. So again, if it's a multi-man woman, I guess, in this scenario, match, I think it would be the main event. So I have Tiffany Stratton here. I kept thinking, who could Tiffany go against? Kind of with what's going on. It might not be Tiffany Stratton because the cash-in with Naomi, maybe this is where the cash-in ultimately happens if Naomi wins Money in the Bank, obviously. I don't know who else could win Money in the Bank right now. Jade makes a lot of sense. I have a bad feeling Charlotte Flair is going to win Money in the Bank, which please, God, don't let that happen. But ultimately, I have Jade Cargill here because I think these are a money-made match. But the rumor has it that at Evolution 2, the match that they've been throwing out is Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. So I think it makes sense to have Charlotte Flair here, but I also want Julia in the match with the new SmackDown roster. I think this would be an insane fatal four-way. You could have Jade, Charlotte, obviously having their beef. Tiffany could pin Julia. I think Julia still being in the main event scene is pushing her tremendously, but you have a great fatal four-way with some SmackDown talent. And I was going to originally just do Tiffany, Jade, and Charlotte, but I really want Julia in the match. I think you have to boost this talent and show how dominant they are. This is a really good matchup. But yeah, I think the only thing I'm iffy about is if they try and run Flair and Tiffy back. We'll see. So now we're going to SummerSlam Night 1. First Night 1. Automatically, I'm thinking John Cena is not going to main event this. My first main event is Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins. Now, the only reason why I'm debating on this one is because I wonder when Jey Uso is going to lose his title. I think SummerSlam's probably where it's going to happen. Who does he go against? I have Seth Rollins here. I could see him going against Drew McIntyre. Debated on putting that second. Instead, I put Seth Rollins as champion somehow. I wonder maybe on 9 champions going against a CM Punk. So I was thinking of other ways they could do it. What's Punk going to do at SummerSlam? I think ultimately go against Seth Rollins or Braun Breaker. Maybe Roman Reigns somehow if they have some heated battle. I think Braun could go against Roman Reigns and Seth goes against CM Punk. But if that's the case, if they run it back, it has to be for a championship. And I could see Jey Uso losing to Seth Rollins ultimately. Because that's the biggest feud right now on Monday Night Raw. It makes the total sense to give it back to Seth Rollins. Maybe Seth Rollins wins it and you have Gunther go against him. Jey Uso versus somebody else. I don't know. I ultimately think this is where we go for Night 1, where it's the World Heavyweight Championship being the main event. Night 2 of SummerSlam, obviously we know John Cena is going to main event. It's just against who? Now, I keep going back and forth on this because Cody Rhodes is scheduled to come back sooner rather than later. And if he does, I don't see him going against anybody else other than John Cena because he has to try and go against John Cena. Maybe it's a huge storyline where ultimately he's going against people that are teamed up with John Cena, which I think should happen, so then you can keep delaying it for the very end. But I have Cody Rhodes going against John Cena. Now, does he win here? I don't know. I don't think you can. I think you want John Cena to keep the title at the very end or lose the title at the very end. So I have Cody Rhodes here. And then my other one is CM Punk. I think ultimately they will go Punk at SummerSlam. I think they should go Punk at SummerSlam. Because to me, it just makes the best sense to go Punk at SummerSlam with Cena. If you're not going to do it, I'm Money in the Bank. And also, to be honest with you, Punk can lose to Cena. I think it makes a lot of sense for that to happen. But again, you can't have Cody Rhodes lose if Cody Rhodes is going to be the one to dethrone him. But maybe Cody Rhodes isn't the one to dethrone him. Maybe it's Punk. So we'll see on that one. Clash in Paris. John Cena will main event. Just who? I have a couple, I think. My first one is AJ Styles. We already know him in France. Tremendous crowds. I'm excited for this one. I think this is the one that makes sense. I could also see AJ Styles having some feud in SummerSlam to boost him into here going against Cena. This is a match we have to see. It's just win. The other one I see with Cena is Drew McIntyre. But. I wonder if Drew McIntyre might be a champion. So we'll talk about that in a second. But ultimately, Drew McIntyre and Cena has to happen. It's just when and where. And I have this as a hypothetical. But I have another one as a hypothetical to be a place potentially. Crown Jewel is where we'll start with. So ultimately, Crown Jewel will be who can win the Crown Jewel champion. So who do I think is going to be champion? Cena and Seth. I said it earlier. I think it could be Seth versus Drew at SummerSlam even. I think Seth will be champion at Crown Jewel. Have the championship at least. But I also believe it could be Drew McIntyre. Now, this is why. I think if Jey Uso loses to Drew McIntyre, then you have Cena and Drew for the Crown Jewel Championship. Automatically, you're giving that to John Cena. No matter who you go against, you probably give it to John Cena. But I do believe that whoever is the champion, which I see right now, it's like Seth, Drew, or CM Punk, who I want to throw down in the bottom, they're going to lose to Cena. Now, this is what I want to say. I wonder if they're saying we're not going to have Cena and Punk to wait later because their idea and thoughts right now is that Punk is going to win a championship and it's going to happen at Crown Jewel. That's what I think is going to happen as well if it doesn't happen at SummerSlam. And especially if Seth somehow wins his title soon, it's going to be Seth Punk. Punk's going to hold on to Crown Jewel at least, and Punk's going to go and do something with the Crown Jewel against Cena. That's where we're going, and that's why they said it's not a match that we play until later. It's because they think they're going to put a championship on him. That's what I'm going to guess. Up next is Survivor Series. So October 11th is when we have Perth, Crown Jewel at Perth. We don't know the beginning November PLE. Usually there's one. They haven't announced it yet. Maybe it's a Bad Blood. What was it? I think it was Clash or Crown Jewel last time. Maybe it's King of the Ring, which you get a chance at Survivor Series. Whatever it might be, we don't have it, so I can't predict it. Survivor Series de San Diego, though. First, it's going to be John Cena. Now, this is what I think. I think it's going to be a War Games match, obviously, with Cody Rhodes. That's what I believe. If it's not that, I wonder what else it could be. My other idea is that if they are saving CM Punk and John Cena, then this is where you should do it. Because it's a Big Four PLE. It makes tons of sense to do it here rather than anybody else if it's a Big Four PLE. Do it here rather than doing it on a Crown Jewel unless Punk's the champion. So I think ultimately it'll be Team Cena, Team Cody to ultimately lead into that Saturday night's main event. Where maybe Cody goes against him, or it'll be Cena versus Punk. I think that's where we're at. Now, let's talk about Cena's final match. So this is the last time we see Cena, then everything else is off the dome. Cena's final match. Obviously, Cena's going to main event. Supposedly happening in TD Garden. Who does he go against? I have Cody. I think the story's too good that it has to be Cody at the very end, with Cody ultimately either winning the championship, Cena vacating the championship, Cena actually taking the championship, and the Royal Rumble is for a new champion, or at WrestleMania is the new champion. I just believe that Cody Rhodes will be the final opponent. Now, again, I have John Cena here, and I keep putting CM Punk here because it's very weird that they want to keep it to the very later on. Which if they don't do it at SummerSlam, I would have to imagine it's Crown Jewel, and they think Punk's gonna get it, or this is the final opponent for Cena. And it will be ending with CM Punk winning the title. Only other person I could think of, maybe Punk turns heel against Cena to really low blows him to win it. Only thing I can imagine. But ultimately, I do believe that it's probably going to be John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, which I think a lot of people also believe. Up next, Royal Rumble. The Saudi Royal Rumble. Who's going to main event? Now, there is a rumor that it's night 1, night 2. Nothing confirmed yet. If it's night 1, night 2, I would guess night 1 being the women's Royal Rumble, night 2 being the men's Royal Rumble. I would assume that because those are the two biggest events, even if there's championships on the line during Royal Rumble week. First, I have potential winners. That's what it was. Roman Reigns as a potential winner for a Saudi. I think you could look at Sammy. I think you could look at Braun Breaker. I think if it's for the championship, Gunther Drew would be insane. Another thing, and then I have Sammy here. These are the two favorites in my opinion because I think they're going to try and run Roman and Seth for the championship at Saudi, but let me know what you think. Elimination Chamber, so it's not in Toronto, it's somewhere else. The main event will be the men's Elimination Chamber. Now, these are my favorites for the men's Elimination Chamber. CM Punk, because I think Cody's going to win the title back from John Cena, or something like that. Then you have Punk going against winning the Chamber, because he doesn't like Saudi crowds, but maybe he's been kind of hinting that he does like Saudi crowds, so maybe he actually wins the Royal Rumble. Then you have Punk versus Cody at WrestleMania. Second one, Roman Reigns, because I ultimately believe it's still going to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Now, WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania 42 Night 1. My first one, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. I kind of already been hinting at it. I think Seth has champion. Maybe he wins it later on. But Seth has champion Roman Reigns with the title, with Roman winning the heavyweight title. makes too much sense to be in night 1. Could easily be in night 2. Not going to be. Second is Seth versus Braun Breaker. A lot of story. Giving Braun Breaker maybe his first title. It has to be a main event. And the star power with these two, it just makes so much sense to be the main event. WrestleMania 42 Night 2, you already know what I'm going to predict. It's going to be Cody versus CM Punk. I really do believe that's the only main event. And, everyone thought it was going to be Cody versus Randy, so maybe this doesn't happen. But this one I feel a little bit more confident that they're willing to do this with how much we've been wanting this match and how much they've been hinting at it. Then I have, obviously, Cody main eventing WrestleMania 42 with Randy Orton. Now, this is another one that I could see maybe Randy getting mad that he couldn't beat Cena. I think Randy is kind of cracking down to become a heel. But here's another theory. What if Cody Rhodes wins the championship by turning slight heel by John Cena, and Randy Orton, who's the babyface, is going to be the babyface going against a heel Cody Rhodes? Another scenario we could see. Rumor has it that they might try and make Cody Rhodes turn a little heelish. They've been kind of open to the idea more, and that could be at the very end. So you let John Cena go out as a good guy and switch Cody Rhodes to the bad guy quick. I think that could be an ultimate thing that they could do with Randy Orton. Being the babyface and going after him night 2. But we'll see on that one. That one I'm a little hesitant on. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I feel pretty decent with a lot of these main events. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just, are the people going to be there? Are certain people going to go in certain matches? Like, is AJ Styles going to be in Paris? Or what if he's in Survivor Series? Or does it happen on a Saturday night's main event? Then you have, when does CM Punk come around? Granted, I put him for a lot of potential matches, but it's because ultimately, it has to happen at some point. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.